Good day everyone. So today I'll be making a very quick video on how to migrate your website without Cpanel. Okay, this is good for those who are actually buying AdSense and domain. Most of these guys will not give you access to Cpanel, so you have to move the content. Some of this content might be great, might be the kind of content you really want to build your blog around. So if you lost those content just because you don't have access to Cpanel and you're just trying to start afresh, using fresh content, it will be too painful. Okay, so and then if you want to do it manually, like copy the post, repost it here, it might be too strenuous for you to follow. So this tutorial is quick and easy. I made this tutorial because of this post on my Facebook where I showed you guys how to migrate step-by-step process. So by logging into the website you bought, the WordPress, installing this. So before we jump into this tutorial, I will advise and please and beg everyone to head over to my YouTube channel. There'll be a link somewhere around this video. I drop video tutorial every now and then on the YouTube channel. You can see a lot of videos, you can see a lot of them here. I drop videos from time to time, so head over to my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe and the little bell icon so that you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video. And on our Facebook group, okay, the bloggers chain group, you can follow the bloggers chain group with about 5.1k members. We also post videos here, we answer questions. If you have any difficulty, you ask your questions. There are a ton of people who are knowledgeable about these things ready to answer you. We are just working together to grow a community of bloggers helping bloggers. So back to the tutorial. According to the post, the first step is actually logging into the website you bought. Okay, I've logged into the website I bought, and I have also created a placeholder for this website on my server. Okay, I have connected this website I bought through Cloudflare so that it will be easy for me to change my server IP, which is also known as shared IP or primary IP, from your normal hosting that you'll be using. Okay, now I've also copied the FTP details of this new placeholder I created on my server. Okay, copy the FTP, that is to say you create an FTP details. I'll show you shortly. Then I've also went to this website I bought. I installed Updraftplus. I went to backup FTP. I went to Updraftplus and I'm backing it, the whole WordPress, through FTP. So let's dive right into the tutorial, starting from this step 4. Okay, this is the website. This is Updraftplus. The first thing you do, you install Updraftplus altogether. Just search it, Updraftplus backups. So I installed it. I clicked on the settings from the plugin page and it took me to this page. So what you will do rather is, when you get here, you choose how to back up this, where to send your backup to actually. So I'm using FTP backup. The most popular type of backup people use is Google Drive. So Google Drive backup is what most people use. It's easy if you are backing up your current website, so that if anything crash, you can go back to Google Drive and restore that your current website. But this time around, I'm moving from this website, this WordPress website, I'm moving to a different server. So most likely I should be using either this SFTP, but this SFTP is a little bit an advanced form of FTP. Okay, it has more encryption sort of, but this FTP is popular and it's easy. You don't even need the server root password and the rest for this. You just need an FTP account here. Okay, so once you select this, you have to scroll down. So when you scroll down, you see the details like this. Okay, you see the details like this. On the server, FTP server, I put the IP address of this my server where I had created the placeholder for the domain I'm moving to. The FTP login, you put your FTP username, you see there. FTP password, you put the FTP password. While creating this my FTP details, I had already set up the part where any installation of the files will be, which is your normal /public_html. If yours is already set like that, while creating this FTP account on this remote part, the only thing you need to do is put slash in this box to let them know that, to let what's it called, to let this Updraftplus know that you want to back this thing up into your root folder. Okay, and please turn this thing on, this part on this mode, to become passive mode. So when all this is set up, before you proceed, you just have to test FTP. So I'll test this FTP. Let's see the output of the test. So it has told me that they have successfully tested this my website and successfully logged in, and they confirm the ability to be able to create a file in the given folder. Confirm. We are ready to fly. So the next thing to do is to scroll down a bit and proceed. So I've scrolled down. At this point, you click on save changes. You will now go back to this backup/restore page. Now you will now have to backup. You see, when it pops out this backup, you are telling it to include the WordPress database, which is 100% what you want to do. You want to back up all the files, everything, plugins, Steam will have their various folder, and you want to send this backup to where? To the remote FTP you had set up. Okay, please leave this part. It just says that you can only manually delete the backup. Okay, because this Updraftplus removes backup after you must have backed up to 3 times or so. It removes the oldest or the earliest backup you ever made. So what I'll now do is backup now. Immediately I click backup now, it should now start sending the backup of this website down to that my remote host. Okay, now that it is backing up, okay, let's say it has fully backed up. What do you need to do now? You have to log in into your Cloudflare. At this point in time, you have to log into your Cloudflare. I'll go over to my Cloudflare now. Now I've gone over to my Cloudflare. I successfully connected my domain, that's this new domain, through Cloudflare, but the Cloudflare details still shows that it is being pointed to the site I bought. It has not started pointing to the new site yet. So what I'll be doing at this point now, since the backup is already moving, okay, I'll point it to, or since the backup is already completed, because the backup needs to be completed before you change, else you will not be able to access the dashboard of this old website you bought, right? So you have to connect your old website through Cloudflare, but don't change the IP yet. That is, don't point to this new one's shared IP. Okay, the backup is completed. So what I'll do, I'll head over to the DNS. This is the former IP. You can see all these IP here are from Namecheap. Okay, I don't need most of all these details. I don't need it. You need it if the one you are connecting to is still a shared hosting. Okay, all you just have to do is change all these old IPs to your new IP you are moving to. But in my case, I'll be deleting all these things. Even if I leave them, it doesn't do anything in my server, so I'll be changing all this. So I'll be changing it to my new details right now. So I need webmail to access webmail. Not really too important. You can notice the 3 I changed. I changed the A record to the domain itself. I changed the CNAME of the www, and I changed the webmail. But the 2 important I need is this A record to the domain and the www to the domain. And you can clearly see that in mine, I'm turning off this orange icon. The reason for turning this off is actually to prevent Cloudflare's HTTPS to affect mine when I'm trying to validate HTTPS through my own server. In your case, you will not need to turn it off. Okay, so now that this step is correct, you wait a while for it to propagate. With Cloudflare, it usually takes a few minutes, okay, to propagate. So I'll confirm this by visiting my website to see if it has propagated, meaning this time around what I'll be seeing is the new WordPress I installed in this placeholder. I just installed placeholder. My server allows me install WordPress easily, even without the website already pointing to anything. As soon as I get a placeholder, I can install any program I want inside. Now I've installed it into the placeholder, but in your own case, it is, well, you can still do it in your own case with your placeholder. You just have to go to Cpanel, install WordPress into that placeholder. Okay, I've gotten into this new placeholder. My Cloudflare has now pointed to the new website correctly, and I am sure this files I've backed up is currently in this new website. So starting out, I'll install File Manager to actually be able to access these files. I'll also install Updraftplus. Okay, now that File Manager has been successfully installed, let's see. You can see now, look at the files. The files are all here. The files are backed up. So what you do is to mark these files. I marked it by holding Control while tapping on them. I move it to WP content. I'm moving the files to WP content. It has moved to WP content. I open WP content. I mark the 5 files again. I move it into Updraft. Now it has moved into Updraft. I open Updraft to confirm that it is inside. Next, I go to Updraftplus, which I have just installed. I go to Settings, Updraftplus, which I have just installed. Okay. Now, on coming to Updraftplus, Viola, you can see that there is a backup already existing. It means these are just backup from the previous site. For moving it into Updraft folder, I can now see it here. So what do? You click on Restore. When you click on Restore, it takes you to this tab to choose everything you want to restore. Note, as soon as you restore this, your site would need to force you to re-log in, and this time around you'll be logging in with the details of your old WordPress site. That is the one you bought, right? So I'll tick the various folders and plugin. Okay, then I'll click on next. I'm clicking on next. They'll show me some few errors. Okay, if you get this error, you see UTF MB3. I would prefer you use UTF 8 MB4. Okay, so use this, then you click on restore. It literally takes seconds to restore. I made this video tutorial because of you guys, okay, just to teach you guys how to restore, migrate a website. I made this video tutorial, so I'll not be needing the content of that previous website. So once you restore, you pretty see everything from your old website into this your new one. So that'll be all for this tutorial. I'll catch you guys in the next.